And, you know, I know that Atherton is grieving. I know that my class of 2007 is grieving. We have lost a great rebel today.
I just want to say that the one thing Max always said was that he wanted to be the happiest person in the entire in the room at all times, and I think we can all take that energy with us and let us all have a green smoothie for Max.
I'm a friend of the family's. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm a reporter at the Courier Journal, and actually that's how I met John and Patty. And through the years, I've written about every member of the family, promoting stuff that John was doing, promoting stuff that Patty was doing. But I would have to say Max was probably my best source because he was always helping me. When the editors wanted me to interview kids about skateboarding or something, Max hung out at the skateboard shop. He always had this little posse around him. Oh, okay. And I quoted him so much. There's so many pictures of Max in the newspaper. I quoted him so much it got so bad that he would refer me to his friends. I mean, we would have storms and power outages, and they said, you know, call some kids and see how they're enjoying their iPods and their handhelds in the dark. Who to call? Call Max. Max referred me to a lot of his student friends and got good interviews. He was poised beyond his years. I would see him at the house all the time. I mean, he was trying to teach me I'm a poor swimmer. We went up to Rough River one time, me and him and his dad, and he was trying to teach me how to tread water. Which, I mean, he was a good swimmer. But it's hard to take when you see a kid grow up like I saw Max. I mean, I love seeing him living in the world. He was just smart, too smart. He was so smart, I guess he kind of didn't even know what to do with it, and you could see that in him. He was searching, and he was like, I don't know, like an ugly duckling maybe. I mean, when he was a kid, he was so scrawny looking. He was real smart, so scrawny looking. And then I was in Kroger one day, and somebody came up behind me with the deep voice and said, Larry. I looked up, here's this dude, 6'2", pork chop sideburns, and I said, Max? That was him. And I always remember him like that. I mean, I know something about mental illness. My brother is paranoid schizophrenic, and our family has been through that. He's been institutionalized for over 20 years. And but I was blessed not to see that side of Max. All that I saw of him was the promise, the you know, the fantastic personality, just a good-looking young kid. The last time I saw him, he was at his father's Super Bowl party, and he was happy and just cracking jokes like he always did, you know. And that's the way that I always remember him.
Hello, my name is Pat McKiernan. Lived next door to John and Patty for many years. My relationship with Max began when John and I coached a basketball team. It's really hard for me to say goodbye to Max. Give me a minute, sorry. It's very sad. Anyway, we coached the team and they were just learning how to play basketball. It was just a lot of fun. It was a great time of my life. You know, that's when I got to know Max and John as friends. And, you know, Max spent so much time in our house. I'd come home from work and he'd just be in the house, you know. It's great kid. And I'd say, where's Dylan? He's like, I don't know. Okay. Well, try not to tear anything up, brother. I got some work to do, whatever. But he was such a wonderful spirit and had such great love in his heart for everything. He just was interested. You could talk to him about anything. He was interested in it. And that was the thing I loved about him. And Dylan, my son, they were like brothers, and they fought and got mad at each other, and then they'd just be friends again. And it was just great to know that their friendship endured any kind of disagreement or misunderstanding. Or it was just beautiful to watch. And as he grew up and I saw him going through Atherton and excelling in such a wonderful way, I just knew he was, I thought to myself, I don't have one thing to worry about him. He's just so tight. And then he started to have all these struggles, and I just wanted to love him and just try to be there for him. And one day I was going in, I teach at the Kent School of Social Work as an adjunct faculty member, and some of my colleagues are here today. And I walked into a lecture hall to do some kind of instructional thing, and there was Max sitting in the lecture hall, and it just gave me such this great feeling in my heart, because I knew that if he could find passion in something, that he would be okay. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to enroll in Kent School." And I said, "That's great. That's wonderful. Can I do anything to help you?" And he, "Yeah, I might want to take your class." And sure enough, I teach a class on substance abuse. It's one of the things I do at Kent School. I work in the alcohol and drug counselor specialization. And there he was in my class, and it gave me such pride to see him there. And so the assignment is that you have to give something up for like 6 weeks. And I don't know why this makes me so sad, but he said, "I can't really think of anything to give up." And I just, okay, think of something. And so he gave up donuts from Donut Castle. And it was just the weirdest thing. Him talking about how he was struggling not eating those donuts in class every week. Yeah, it was just such a fun time to watch him process through that. And he was so bright. And that was, and I don't know what happened. It was just, and I just didn't see him in school anymore. And then I heard that he wasn't going to school. And I rarely saw him. And then my son told me he started using drugs, and it really worried me that when he told me that, I just didn't see him. And then John called me and said that Max killed himself on Monday morning. And I don't know, it was just such a, I really didn't know what to say to John, and I still don't know. But I love Max so much, and I just wanted to get up here and say that my life is richer for having him in it. And I really wished I had an idea that he was in such a troubled state. If I could have reached out, I would have done anything to help him work through it. And I just want everyone that loves Max to know that. And he'll always be in my heart.
My name's Gary Dennis. Was a student of John's in the doctoral program at School of Urban and Public Affairs. My wife and my daughter, for us, Max is frozen in time. We were friends of John and Patty's and did things together, and I remember our daughter, who was about 7 years older than Max, tubing on Rough River. So I want to obviously let John and Patty know how we feel about this. I can't imagine the feeling of loss. But I want to thank all of you for giving me an opportunity to get to know Max, the older Max, because I remember him frozen in time as a child, because we've been gone Washington for 6 years and away and lost track. And to hear all of you talk so fondly of him, and I only wish that I had had the opportunity to get to know him later in life. And sometimes I think all of us need to stop and think we need to make more time for our friends and for our families, and we probably don't do that as well as we should. So John, and I'm sorry Patty's not here, God bless you.
Hi, I'm John's aunt, and I've been asked to point out that Snoopy and Dexter are here celebrating Max, and they've been really good dogs. And just thinking about what's going on with Max and what happened, I could think sometimes love just isn't enough. And this child was loved so much and so wanted. And wherever you are, Max, you're still loved.
My name is Sean, and Max was my friend. He was actually the first friend I made here a year ago when I moved here. Mr. and Mrs. Gilderbloom, I'm sorry for your loss. I hung out with Max a few times, and every time we hung out, the kid always had a smile on his face. And I think we can all agree with that whenever we saw Max, he was always smiling and laughing and cheerful-hearted. I lost touch with Max these last few months, which makes me really sad. But you know, knowing Max in just 1 year, you can see how profound of a person he is, and right now I know he's watching over all of us.
My name is Dylan. I'm not going to be able to stay up here too long, but Max was my best friend, hung out with him every day, all throughout grade school, high school. We did all kinds of stuff together, and like my father was saying, Pat, that John Gilderbloom's house is a second home to mine, and spent a lot of time together, and I love him to death. And I don't really know what to say. I miss him a lot, and I want him to know that if he's looking down right now, that I love him, that I'll always remember him, and that I'll never forget him, and that I don't know, that I love him, and I hope he's in a better place, and I hope his mind is at ease now, and he is seeing clarity. That's all I have to say. I love you, Max.
I believe the lyrics to the song are printed in the program. When John first asked me to sing this song, which was one of Max's favorites by one of his favorite bands, I kind of thought, wow, that's a really sad song. And then in listening to it, the melody's sad, but I think the words are actually really hopeful. And I think it's called Everybody Hurts. And I think the key line for me is that it's